Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. I feel like my voice is like an octave lower. Like a Kathleen Turner voice. Sounds like I've been drinking whiskey and smoking cigars. No, I didn't do that. I did that in college a few times, though. But anyway, hey, how you doing? I'm going to do a reading for you, Sag. What's your black swan? What is your black swan, Sagittarius? Do you know, you're thinking, oh, I don't know, what is my black swan? So your black swan, it's a precious find in life. It might be something within you. Actually, and it could be something outside of you. And kind of like with Scorpio, I kind of got this feeling like it was inside them and it was outside them. Like, so we all have a precious swan inside of us. And sometimes it takes discovering our own precious swan, black swan, and developing that to see someone else's beautiful black swan within them. So yeah, you can look up meanings of black swans. This is all related to a dream that I had a few days ago. You can go to the community channel of this the community section of this channel to see the details of that dream. So that's you can do if you want to do that. So this is what we're going to do, Sagittarius. We're going to find out what your black swan is. And I've combined my goddess deck and my starseed deck to start it off, and then I have my energy oracle deck. Oh, that's beautiful. My energy oracle deck. I do have my light seer's tarot. Oh, okay, yeah, we do, because you have angel of love and the two of cups, so I guess we will use this one. I thought, I don't know if I'm going to use it, but that seemed like a beautiful omen there. And then you have Spider Woman, co-creation, as you brought down. So let's get started, Sag. It's general, my friends, and because it's general, it may or may not resonate. If it does and you're drawn to it, there is an extended, and the link to that is at the top of the description within this video. So let's see what Sagittarius's black swan is. And we're going to look at two other things in this too. I'll tell you what those are when we start flipping cards. Whoa, superhero energy, baby. You got superhero energy written all over you. This is cool. Okay. I love this. Spider Woman, co-creation. You are one of a few. Oh my God, I'm totally getting like Avengers energy with you, Sagittarius. This is like you have superpowers. You have superpowers. You have superhero energy. You are, but it comes out. Okay, so this is, when I think of like, I don't really know if there's a Spider Woman, but let's just go, because this is the goddess deck, is depicted as that. But I'm getting like, I'm really seeing like little Spidey Man. And Spider-Man, out of all of the superheroes, to me, is the one that people expect sort of the least from. The youngest, the scrawniest, you know, like not the big Hulk or anything like that. But, you know, it's kind of funny because Spider-Man, Spider-Woman, was still part of that Avenger group. At least I think. I don't know. It's been a long time since I watched one of those. But they're still part of that group. So co-creating and having a very important place in that group. And I want to say, kind of coming in when others fail. Like literally, there's something about being kind of scrawny. And I don't know, maybe you are scrawny. Not necessarily, like you don't have to physically be scrawny, but there's something unassuming about you, which is really interesting because that's what was in my dream when I discovered a black egg with a black swan inside it. Was in a very unassuming paper bag on a shelf. Like nobody was noticing it. You are, so you are definitely a black swan. You're kind of interesting. You're kind of coming in a little bit like Leo did. Leo was the first one that I did in this reading series, and immediately they were the black swan. You are the black swan. See, like in my dream though, I found a black swan. So you are a black swan. Maybe that's going to be something with the fire signs. I don't know. But you're definitely coming in as a black swan, and you are definitely unassuming. So you do not have to be the hit of the parade. You do not have to be the center of attention in the room. But it's kind of like when nobody else can come up with an answer, you can just quietly say, oh, well, maybe this, and that. Like, that's kind of how I see Spider-Man. Because all the superheroes are in there doing it, run away. Spider-Man gets shoved off to the side. And it's kind of like Spider-Man comes to when everyone else is laying on the ground and looks like it's over. The villains are about to win. And because Spider-Man is so agile and unpredictable, you can often get in underneath a big Goliath and take him down. Really cool. So you are part. Often, you are probably, this is kind of heavy. This is, well, depending. You are the hero that is often overlooked. That's who you are. Yeah, that's like, it just feels heavy because you are the hero that is often overlooked. You are a beautiful black swan. Yeah. All right. We're going to keep developing this, right? I love this. Okay. Energy that could destroy the black swan. So you're the black swan. So this is not something that could destroy you. It could actually be something that could be detrimental to your path, to your true fulfillment in life, to your true calling. Now, this is something that I've worded it in a way, it could be something that's stolen from you, steal, or cause you to destroy. Energy that could destroy it. So pretty much in all the readings, it's come up as something that we can do. So who I'm reading for. So let's see. It makes a lot of sense in this because we all have spiritual freedom in our choices. So what could steal or destroy this? Beauty. Wow. Oh. You could be taken in by a pretty face. You could be taken in by a handsome face. And, okay, at first, okay, there's two ways. The first thing that came in for me, now sometimes when I channel a message, like I'll get something right away, but then something bigger will come in and almost sit over it. Like this is the more main message. So that's what I just said to you. What was the more main message? Because that came in and sat on top of something that came in smaller immediately. So, but, okay, your own beauty. So you can also get wrapped up in, perhaps maybe realizing like how beautiful you are, but why is it not being seen? You know, like, and this doesn't have to be an external beauty. It can be like about yourself. Definitely. Okay. Now I see how I had to pull that through, because it's not so much about your external beauty, but it is understanding like, you know, you have a lot to bring to the table here, but it's always kind of, it's not really seen for the integrity, the value, the problem solver, the achiever, the hero that it can be. But yet you get it done when it needs to get done. This is something that, it's like the energy of, okay, I want to say it's sort of the energy of the custodian or the janitor. And I used to deal with a ton of them when I was working in the pest control industry, because they were usually the ones that I would see like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning going into different places. And you know, the number of things that they would look after, and it would see the trash that people leave and the mess that people leave. And then people come back. It's like fucking magic. I was going to say freaking, but it came up when it was fucking magic, man. It is like the garbage collectors as well. I love those guys. The shit that accumulates in my house, and all I have to do is put it to the curb and they'll take it. I think that's so magical. I love it. I love it. It's amazing. And but most people overlook this. They don't see the value in it, right? It's great. Like, and it's like some of you those may be professions that some of you are in or something similar. Like, so like you clean up, or you, it doesn't even have to be, you could clean up energetically, thoughts, people's thoughts. You can clean that up and purify it in a way. You can purify an environment, take the toxic energy out of it. But a lot of people don't even realize that it's you doing it. They don't realize that you're doing it. Because I think about those janitors and those custodians, a lot of times, yeah, like people didn't see them doing it. People didn't want to see us. You're like in the pest control. industry, whether I was doing like technician service or auditing. Most of the time people didn't want to see it, and I don't want to see that. Ugh, you're such an idiot. You don't realize what goes on that keeps your world functioning. The things that you do that keeps the world functioning that so many people don't see. You have such an intense beauty. You are definitely in that paper bag on the shelf. Yeah. And I think so what could destroy this is realizing that, and maybe sometimes feeling like, well, I'm not going to do it for people anymore. I'm not going to do this for them anymore. So I feel like the question, though, to ask yourself is, are you doing it for them, or are you doing it because it's just part of who you are? It's just the order that you create. It's just the atmosphere that exudes around you. And well, how do you create that three-dimensionally? So there is kind of that idea of, you know, when you are giving, are you giving because you want something to be reciprocated, or are you giving because this is what I do? And I know it goes unnoticed, but I see it. And the right people or the right person is going to see it. And that's what matters. And you know, all these morons don't know how to keep this place clean. Don't let that take you away. Don't, you know your beauty. And you know that those people that do not recognize what it is that you do, well, really, why would you want to have deeper connections with them? You know, if they kind of wake up one day and they see it, well, that's great. But otherwise, why? Why would you want to do that? So then the other message that I'm getting with this as well, that came in a little bit heavier, is that you could be prone to, because there's something about you, I keep getting like you clean things up. And I feel like it has to do with low vibrational energy. It could be like being really good at identifying manipulators, weak spots in a chain link. But there's something about how you do it, anyway, that goes unnoticed by a lot of people. But this, though, because you have this natural inclination yourself to create order, through chaos. And it's almost like you understand that the chaos exists for the purpose of creating the order. Because it's like having a bowl full of, or a plate full of misshapen and different sized marbles. And you just kind of have a way of realizing, well, you know, it would take forever to do this and this. And if I just shake the plate a little bit, everything is going to naturally fall where it becomes orderly based on its size and weight on its own, you know, like it's just something you do. So I feel like when you encounter people that are really put together, they dress really nice, they look really good, they smell really good, you could have a weakness there for seeing on the surface. So it's not to say you're superficial, it's just because of how you function, you may see things that way. So you could get drawn into a pretty face, you could get drawn into a handsome face. And that could pull you from your path, because this beauty, on some levels, if it's very surface level with people that you know, decide you're attracted to that, and it doesn't always have to be like romantic, it could just be platonic too. You know, if it is surface level, then there might not be a lot of depth here. So that's exactly the person that's not going to notice you on the shelf in the brown paper bag. But they may notice that you have a natural ability to do certain things that might serve them. So there is like the possibility of getting pulled into narcissistic situations, energy vampiring. Because what you do is really subtle. They may not even know how you do it. Like people that want to utilize you for certain things, but they know you do. Okay, the energy that will nurture you, because you're the superhero. The energy that will nurture the superhero in you. Star Keeper, cosmic ancestor, seed the light by staying grounded. Ooh, isn't it interesting how that last card with what will nurture you that came out was from the Starseed deck? These other two are God, Goddess energy. Knowing that, okay, this is interesting as well, because I am picturing again like a janitor, a custodian who's working in the night or really early in the morning, and you know, realizing that there's a higher calling in what they do. You know, this is also someone who goes into the CEO's or the executive's office and tidies it up. You know, that sort of patriarchal, archaic saying, behind every great man is a great woman. It is kind of like that energy. And you do show up as being that great energy behind something. It reminds me, I've been watching again, but this comes from knowing of your deeper calling and connecting to that all the time. It reminds me of, this is the energy of like a priest or someone who was sort of at the king's side. But this person, I mean, the king is kind of outside of what's really going on, the energy, the dynamic that's happening outside in the kingdom. But this is the person that has the king's ear, that literally in some way is running the kingdom. Like, I mean, when you watch shows like that and you read about it, you're like, that's the person who's running the kingdom, is the person who has the king's ear, is the person. And even like a Downton Abbey, like how often the earls, and I don't remember what they were all called, the people that served them were the ones always in their ear telling them what was really going on out with the people. And, you know, what the best move for them was to do. You know, it's up to you, but that's very influential. So that's kind of like realizing that there's a higher calling for what it is that you do and how you do it. And it's something that changes energy and perhaps even the direction of some people's lives without them really knowing that it's coming from you. It's almost like to say that you work divine, but in a really kind of underhanded way. Underhanded is probably not right, but I like it. It's kind of cool. Yeah. You are seeding the light. Oh, you are planting seeds. Yeah. So you're planting seeds. That's exactly what that priest, I can't get the right word for someone who's like in the king's ear. The, you know, they plant seeds. God, that's so powerful. I know it's not necessarily the one who ends up in the history books, but it is the one who's making history. That's the difference. Not the one who ends up in the history book, but the one who actually created that history. That's what you are. Wow. That's some cool shit. What's at the bottom? Your life is a canvas. Artist, manifestation, creative accountability. Wow. This is heavy. Like, this is really realizing like how you plant seeds, that you could on some level change the course of history. Whether that's just in your family dynamic, whether it's in your workspace, in your neighborhood, but then it's like a ripple. It's a ripple effect. So how far does this go? Creative accountability. That is very important. You are an artist. But it's almost like you whisper in Picasso's ear. Oh my God, how do we know that didn't happen? Maybe it did. maybe none of that was genuinely right from Picasso. I don't want to say it wasn't. I don't want to take that away from him if it was. But just as a metaphor, that there was someone who came in and cleaned up his studio, or a gardener, you know, in some place that he lived. And this, I'm really getting a strong feeling about that. Because where do we find inspiration from? Wow. You are almost like the ear in Picasso, the voice in Picasso's ear, the voice in the king's ear. You are the voice, Sagittarius. You are the voice. You are the voice in the shadows. I got goosebumps on that. That is so cool. You're the voice in the shadows. And in some level, like, what am I doing right now? I'm voicing your energy. So I'm reading you. And I'm making it, I'm almost like, you could say, like with my channel, I don't know. It's like, if YouTube exists for 1,000 years. Like, it's recorded in history. But I'm voicing you right now. That was kind of profound. I am recording you guys historically by reading your energy. But people will look and go, oh, wow, look at what Cynthi's doing. I'm just reading you guys. I just say, like, if you know me, I'm really black. I sit on the couch with my dog and I eat popcorn. Watch Netflix. Like, I'm not that profound. But you are. Boy, this is so cool. I like that. Oh my gosh. I was just talking about superheroes and look at this. Like, it's right, like the Avenger. But think about it. Thor and the Hulk, after Spider-Man's cleaned everything up, they all come conscious. Oh yeah, we did it, guys. Yeah, I don't even think they give Spider-Man a ride. Yeah. They don't even give Spider-Man a ride home. There was one episode of something I was watching, like, Spider-Man just did everything. And I was like, and I think he ran out of webbing too, and he had to start walking. Was it one of the newer Spider-Man movies, like walking home? I thought, geez, nobody gives that guy any respect. Energy that could destroy this, though. Beauty. With the projecting. Projecting, magician in the mirror, the energy that could destroy this. So it's when okay, somebody is showing up, but it is a very surface level way. When people show up in a very surface level way to you, you can get kind of enamored with it. I'm getting like a tendency for you to be drawn to pretty things, to attractive things. I don't know, maybe you have like a Taurus placement and something significant. Like maybe your Venus is in Taurus. I don't know. I'm just talking out my ass now. I don't know, but there's something about that. And it's mirroring kind of something that you want to see, that you're hoping to find. You're trying to find beauty, but the beauty that you really want to find, it's inside. It's inside. But it takes, it can take a while for us as we age and go through life to realize that. Is a good example of this. If you've ever looked at people's photographs, like just a still flat photo of someone, and you can see someone that is incredibly photogenic, very attractive, looking at that picture, that person is really attractive. Boy, I would like to meet them and talk to them. You meet them in person. And like even just the way their mannerisms with their body, like the way they talk, all of a sudden they become unattractive, like to you, looking at that. Like, oh, this person's really unattractive. And then nothing interesting comes out. Like it's all just surface level even perhaps. And immediately, like it changes how you see that person. And you can have another person that is not very photogenic and they look okay in the photo. But then you meet them in person and there's a glow that comes out of this person that was not captured in a photograph. And then you start to find the depth, and that becomes so attractive. So there is something about that. Like, there is something that can get mirrored back at you. It's the projecting. And it can be your downfall to beautiful things. What was the other part that was coming out? Why am I only getting that now? You could, oh, okay, I'm continuing on this path where it's like people know what your weakness is, so they use that on you a little bit to get you to manifest things for them as opposed to your higher calling. Mirroring. People that mirror what you are trying to create, but they only mirror it on the surface. To nurture it, be confident about who you are, right? Like you walk tall, walk straight, walk proud. Really? Because you think about it. I think about the janitors and the custodians walking through an office, and everyone's got their pomp and circumstance, their fancy suits and their desk, and the janitor is pushing the garbage can and the broom. But it's still, you don't know. Like, you don't know what that person does in their spare time. And they just, doesn't matter. They're still a human being having a human experience. And a lot of the most profound, like leaders and changers in our world are people that are doing very mundane things. So you be confident. You be confident in knowing that even if you are Spider-Man and you're not the Hulk and you're not Thor, you are still getting shit done. You are the voice in the shadows. So cool. You are the voice in the shadows. You're even, in a way, like using me to speak for you. Oh, anxiety. I don't know why. You shouldn't. You shouldn't. Let's put a tarot card. This interesting split. The Seven of Wands and the Two of Cups. Well, maybe that's it. Maybe you have gone through something here and you're recognizing, yes, Two of Cups and Four of Swords. You're recognizing, okay, the way I was viewing people and things were not conducive to my higher good. These people and things or situations were not seeing me and understanding me and appreciating me for what me could do, you could do, or what you have to offer, what you really are here. So now how do I recognize that? As I feel like you're kind of like, how do I, with this anxiety? And we keep getting this Two of Cups, and the Lover's sitting there now. I kept getting that Two of Cups. So like, where's the reciprocation? How to find true reciprocation? Well, I don't know. I just read the cards. I told you. Simple. Something about the number 48. As I said that. Strength and the Two of Pentacles. Making a change in your life that takes you down a path that requires inner strength. So for some of you, when you turn 48, or something significant happened when you were 48, if you've already surpassed that number. And there's something that you learned there, something you will learn there. If you're a long way from 48, well, just enjoy everything right now. So. I kind of think it's people that are closer to it. I mean, I don't know. I just like a message like that. Are you like, let's say you're 32. You're going to remember what I just told you when you're approaching 48? Oh, maybe. You are. Oh my God. You are just everything. You are a choice. You are the choice. I mean, yourself, you might also be very physically attractive. So I'm getting this, like, people are drawn to you, but they're drawn to you for the wrong reasons. I want to say too, your black swan. Look at this. Oh, I've never seen this card. Like, you look at it, and I'm not showing it to you, right? I'm so cheeky. So, the way she's, okay, this is reminding me of, I'm watching that series on Netflix, The Last Kingdom, or The Final Kingdom, or some kind of kingdom. And I'm disappointed now. Everybody was having sex and fornicating all over the place at the beginning of the series, and now it's stopped. What's going on with this? What happened to this show? But anyway, so I'm at the point now, what is she called? She's like kind of a dark witch. She's a bit of a dark witch, and she's a serious manipulator. Oh, so who you are, you can draw people in yourself. You know what? You have just the capacity to do to others what they do to you. Oh, magician in the mirror. Oh, you are something here, Sagittarius. This is quite a reading. Okay, I'm getting this, like, look at all this red that's sitting in here. Look at her, the way she's pulling him in. It's reminding me very, very much of the skag. That's what she's called. The skag? I think that's it. So she just basically wants, she bewitches these guys. There's 3 of them now. Well, one of them, well, I don't want to, anyways, okay. If you haven't watched it, I don't know. I think I'm in season 3. But anyway, so tune out, move forward if you don't want to hear this. But she bewitches these guys, and then they're like fighting over her. And she loves it. You can tell she loves it, and she keeps like poking this wasp's nest any way she can get it. What she's basically looking for, she wants to become the Dark Queen. You can see that. That's what she wants to become. At least I think at this point in the series that I'm at, she wants to become all-empowering because she's kind of not really seen. She really doesn't have any power except her witchcraft, but she uses it for all the wrong reasons. Maybe you've even done this, like, earlier on in your life. Maybe you were very bewitching, and like, because you have the capacity, you have exactly the same capacity to do what has even been done to you. So I don't know if this is stuff that's happened like in your lifetime now or in past lifetimes. Because what she wants is, she wants to eliminate the masculines around her that are competing for her, but will not end up being the victors in whatever battles, whatever land is going to be claimed. She's not doing anything for love. She's not doing anything for love. She's only doing everything to, and I guess because all she knows and understands in her life is manipulation to try to get some sort of power for herself. So you have the capacity to do this. I think you've done it in the past. I think that is a past, though. And right now, you are also kind of coming to terms with how people have bewitched you. Like, it's so fascinating. You are definitely a choice, Sagittarius. People are drawn to you. But they're drawn to you because on some level here, you are doing this as well. So you're showing people the beautiful part of you without perhaps so much as the dark side. I don't know. There's something hidden that I'm not quite getting. Because if you think about that as well, the whispers in the king's ear, this has the capacity to take a kingdom down. Like, if the person whispering in the king's ear really shouldn't be trusted, or really has a completely different agenda than what the king and the council and the kingdom has, you can take down kingdoms. This is really strong energy. You got to be careful with this. You are both sides of the black swan. So, okay, when I researched the black swan, sort of like spiritual meanings, animal totems, I got 2 sides of it. The one side was kind of more of the more ancient side, indigenous cultures, the stories written and told about the black swan. It was a symbol of a very good omen. It was a good sign, the black swan. But now, more like on the Christian, the biblical side, the bad omen. It's a bad omen. Myself, I tend to believe more the indigenous, but well, I do anyways when I see it. But because the dark is good too. The dark is good too. Depends what you do with it. If you use the dark to manipulate others, as this skag is, then yeah, that's not good. Then you are. But you see, that's what it is. You have the capacity to be both the black and the white, because the white swan is always seen so pristine and beautiful and holy and pure. So like these both sides, you can be this. This is so dualistic. Do you have duality? Does Sagittarius possess some duality to it? You do with this aspect of you. Okay, next. How this could destroy. The Four of Pentacles. You stop sharing. You just outright stop sharing yourself. Stop sharing your gifts. Stop sharing information. You stop. You stop whispering in the king's ear. You stop being a counsel to others. Yeah. But you see, that feels like true, because there's something that goes on here in your lifetime that I'm picking up in these cards where you were very bewitching and you used this energy and you played in it and with it, with other people. So, but then you had an epiphany moment. Your soul came through and said, whoa, we have this power, but this is not really what I want to be doing with it. This is probably not how that happened for you. It was probably more like, this is not where I hope to find myself in life at this point. It's kind of like that, where we have one of those. And then working through it and really starting to see the depth in yourself. Maybe too, like, I don't know, Sagittarius. I'm trying to think of the Sagittarians that I know. There is something kind of bewitching about y'all. Like, you know, a lot. Like, fire signs tend to have that naturally. There's something, like, they're very attractive. They are very attractive, masculine and feminine, that I know that is Sagittarius. I don't know a lot, but there is something really, really attractive and kind of draws you in about it. But so even that in itself didn't necessarily mean that you had to develop a deeper part of yourself out of the gates in life. If you were the pretty little girl or the handsome young boy. Come on, we know, like, people gravitate. We're visual beings. So there was something here where you didn't have to develop a depth to yourself. It was there, but you didn't have to use it. So you were kind of bewitching. But now I see you as going through a change and recognizing, I have a lot more depth. I'm looking for a lot more depth in my life. But where do I find it, right? Because you have the anxiety card. Why did I pull this up too? Envy. Trying to flip that around. Maybe you end up with a lot of people being kind of envious around you. Or if I don't feel envy, what do I feel? That's an interesting statement. If I don't feel envy, what do I feel? So not moving forward. So when you get to this lesson in life, you hold back. It's natural. But you don't want to stay there, because you need to come out confident. You need to come out confident and know that there is quite an importance to those, because history books will eventually be gone. All things will decompose except the course of humanity, except the course of our soul. So those that actually are writing history play a phenomenally important role in the movement of mankind and your soul's journey, as opposed to those that appear in the history books, because those history books will fade. They will burn down. The sun will supernova. It will all be gone. Those names, even if somehow, like, it gets moved digitally, we move to another planet, I guarantee you those names will change. Those images will transform. It's like telephone tag. But what is the real change here? Is the course of human history. That's the real change. That's where you need this confidence, baby. 9 of Cups. Yeah. Following your dreams. Having your own emotional sovereignty here. That's it. That's it, Sagittarius. You know Spider-Man, Spider-Woman is kicking ass when the Hulk and Thor passed out on the ground. Queen of Pentacles, Six of Cups. Where is that coming from? Where am I getting with that? You know, I just see a queen and like you have soul connection. Wow. You have soul connection with the leaders. With those that, no, see, okay. Those that are perceived as the leaders. All leaders have counsel. That's the word I think I was looking for. Like the one who has counsel to the king, the one who has counsel to the queen, the one who has counsel to whoever. Like I feel like, so sitting here having a channel, having a platform on YouTube, so you would see me as like the king or queen. Like I really don't see myself as that. But like it would be perceived as that, and people will say, oh, Cindy does this shit. But I'm just reading you guys. Like I find you guys so fascinating. And this is incredibly fascinating what I'm reading here. But right, like you are the counsel to me in a sense, and I am verbalizing this. I might be pulling it out from, or you might be feeding it to me on an energetic level, right? Like you're not whispering it in my ear. Maybe you are. Maybe you're sitting there with your iPad or your laptop. I see. But this is it. This is a soul connection. So I do want to say on some level too, I'm connected to all of you guys on some sort of soul journey here. It's a lot of people. A lot of people that be counsel to, or have counsel to with. Yeah, that's it. That's what I got. That's so interesting. Gonna go do the extended Sagittarius. I'm gonna look in that. I'm gonna look at the blind spot behind your black swan. And then I'm gonna look for full-on advice for you, just advice for you. Thank you so much, Sagittarius. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.